Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Lies official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At Bayview, Harris advises Ava that Marlena has consented to help her in regards to her dreams of Susan. Although Ava appreciates his assistance, she does not wish to discuss Susan. Moreover, she hasn't had a dream of her since yesterday. Perhaps it's finished. Susan shows up, provoking Ava to come clean about the auto accident. A completely dressed EJ surprises Conscious on the dimmer sofa after a fantasy about Susan, who blames him for not being unglued about her demise. Xander sends Chloe a message while he plays darts at home. He says Philip is not invited, but he wants to start planning their wedding. "You didn't sound shaky about Philip by any stretch of the imagination," he deadpans, hanging up. After that, he opens the door for EJ, who opens fire. At John and Marlena's, Theresa clears up for a confounded Brady that she's in Salem to offer her appreciation to Victor. Regardless of their rough history, they had an advancement when she left with Elfidio to safeguard Brady and Tate. Brady reminds his ex-girlfriend that she and Xander left Chloe for the drug lord as they reminisce about it. Theresa faults everything on Xander. She will always despise him because he is the reason Brady and she are not together. Marlena tells John and Steve about John Doe at the pub. She maintains that them should attempt to sort out who he and his tragically missing child are. Marlena says that John Doe said that when he tried to get back to his son, there was a lot of fighting. John contemplates whether he was battling in a conflict. Julie is seated in the lobby of the hospital next to John Doe, while Doug receives x-rays for his stubbed toe. She presents herself, however he shares that he doesn't recollect what his identity is. She educates him regarding her Uncle Tommy, who lost his memory in the Korean conflict. Something about her story sounds natural to him. After he educates her regarding his quest for his child, she attempts to pick up the pace the tests he's sitting tight for. Alone, he asks why Korea and Tommy sound so natural. At Sander's loft, EJ tranquilly says he's let his mom's demise go unavenged for a really long time. Sander declares that Ava is to blame. She therefore possesses the right to die. EJ concurs. "Which is the reason I believe that you should kill her," he states, giving Xander the firearm. Xander doesn't like that EJ is giving him a chance to make up for what he did to Susan. EJ gives him a check, contemplating whether every one of those zeros mitigate his interests. At Bayview, Harris looks as Ava demands to Susan, but she previously came clean about driving the vehicle off the street. Harris intrudes, driving Susan to vanish. A confused Ava informs Harris that she is unsure of what Susan is referring to. He suggests that she speak with Dr. Evans. He'll call her at this moment. At the bar, John says assuming John Doe served in the military, they could run his prints through the data set. Marlena steps away to accept a call from Harris. She consents to come to Bayview, then learns Dark Fix is taking on John Doe's case. Julie pushes Doug in a wheelchair to meet John Doe. She lets her new companion know that Kayla is sending a methodical to accompany him to his tests. Doug inquires if John Doe has a wife of his own after hearing about John Doe's kindness. He abruptly recollects that he does, yet he can't recall her name. Doug shares he grasps cognitive decline, yet his was because of demon ownership. Marlena takes Ava back to the night she drove Susan off the cliff when she agrees to be hypnotized. Ava recalls fleeing the vehicle after the crash. Marlena asks what has been going on with Susan. At home, Brady reminds Theresa that Xander isn't the explanation they aren't together. She actually contemplates them and what might have been. She makes him kiss her. He responds and then backs away, declaring that it was a bad idea. Mournful, she presses to rejoin, yet he would rather not return down that street with her. Not at the present time or ever. He requests that she leave. In his loft, Xander folds up EJ's check. A second death on his conscience is not worth any money. He actually has bad dreams about what has been going on with Susan. EJ pushes the weapon at him, encouraging him to take care of business. Xander accepts Jade, position him to accept any consequence, and orders him out of there. EJ obliges, yet not before secretively advance notice. It's the ideal opportunity for Xander and Ava to take care of his mom's demise. Harris gets back to Ava's room and learns she remembered nothing new. Marlena says she's sorry she was unable to support Ava and leaves with Harris. At the emergency clinic, Doug, July, and John Doe bond over their affection for singing. John Doe hit the dance floor with his better half and requests that Julie go along with him. They all sing as Julie and John Doe skip around Doug. After John learns the VA emergency clinic is feeling the loss of a patient, he and Steve meet with the director, Mr. Dugan. He lets them know they're treating John Doe, aka, for memory loss. Joseph Bell, they think it's because of a head injury he got during the war. Nonetheless, they have barely any familiarity with him or his child. Dugan gives them a folder with Bell's dog tags and information about his service. John reviews the data as Dugan departs. He finds that Chimes served in the Korean conflict, in similar unit as his natural dad. Brady recalls, alone making private vows with Theresa in their bedroom. In the meantime, Theresa cries on the bench in front of Brady's pub. Xander occurs by. "Theresa," he says curiously. EJ makes a phone call in the park. "I maintain that you should kill Ava Vitali." Harris gets back to Ava, who admits she missiled Marlena. She asserts, "I remember everything now. Susan Banks is alive." Days of Our Lives next episode, Sarah battles with the sentiments and things tense among Chloe and Nicole. Days of Our Lives presently solely airs on Peacock. To ensure you never miss an episode, buy into Peacock. Kindly note that assuming you buy something by tapping on a connection inside this story, we might get a little commission of the deal. The spoilers for these Days of Our Lives hint at a moving memorial, a son trying to right a great wrong, and a lot more. You will not want to miss this week. Victor Kiriakis' friends and family, and a couple of his most passionate doubters, assemble to let the Titan go. Among the welcomed grievers are the extraordinary man's only from time to time seen granddaughter Chelsea, Rachel Melvin, his incredible nephew Sonny, and Theresa Donovan. One more bad dream highlighting his long-lost mother Spike's Ejinto choosing to get dangerous revenge against her assumed executioner Ava Vitali. Keeping that in mind, he endeavors to enlist Xander to kill Ava. He even proposes to supply the weapon. How smart. Sadly for EJ, and to be sure, Xander's not keen on returning to an existence of wrongdoing. Trip and Wendy have a romantic dinner date at the Salem Inn. Chloe and Nicole have a heated argument, and John learns something about the mysterious man who has so captivated Doug, Bill Hayes, Julie, Susan Seaforth Hayes, and Marlena. In the meantime, Sarah, who is still obstinately refusing to tell Xander about her baby's paternity, should go into labor amid the chaos caused by Victor's funeral. At long last, Days spoilers have a startling guest shaking Salem. Will the Arriva be companion or enemy? Will they be a recognizable face to fans or another figure out and out? Remain blocked to find out. On the off chance that you missed it, more memes on Clean's the Center Point are for analysis or wild hypothesis about Days of Our Lives' current stories, where they're going, how they're doing, and at times exactly the thing we're trusting we will find soon in Salem. We're especially enamored with this one, so kindly snap here to understand it. Days of Our Lives airs weekdays in the United States on Peacock, Plus and Canada, on the W Network or Global TV app. For more about what's coming up in Salem, look at every one of the most recent Days spoilers, and for a top-to-bottom gander at the show's set of experiences, click here. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel, and don't miss any update.